Sometimes voice banana likes to mess with me, so it is what it is. Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope all of you are doing great. It's good to see you. Thank you, Xavier, Just Plays, Ivan. Welcome everyone. Can you hear me? Can you confirm? There is so much PC audio, so let's disable that. I think you can hear me now. Awesome. It's good to see you guys. Alright. Okay, so welcome everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see all of you. Today we're going back in memory. I'm going to show you one of my very first projects, and then we're going to take a sneak peek into our current Unreal Engine Masterclass. I am preparing the project for the masterclass. This means I'm opening something that's like almost 5 years old, and we are looking at my mistakes, how things could improve, and what could I do better, and what I learned and whatnot. I already worked so much on the project, been preparing it for the masterclass, but still there are so many things we can take a look at. Hey everyone, welcome. Awesome. Perfect. So if you go back about 5 years ago here, you can hear music too, right? This is my very first project in Unreal Engine called Apartment in Izmir, which is this guy. It went kinda little viral, but this project opened for me the opportunity to work on multiple projects after it, right? So this, if you know, it's just a simple apartment. We walk inside in Unreal Engine, change stuff. Good old days, 2015. Uh, the what I learned, every time you do something, you create something, share it. ArtStation, YouTube, all of that. Like it will help you get new opportunities. So back then, learning Unreal Engine for 3 months paid off immediately, and this was my second or third project back then. Yeah, the watermelon cursor is my favorite. So the project is in New York, North Haven. It's an exterior and interior project. It took me about 2 months, 2 months and a half to finish all of it. It was a massive learning experience. Um, it's a beautiful house, so many bedrooms, and so much vegetation outside. I remember back then when I was working on the project, at the end point, I was getting like 1 frame per second, half a frame. Oh, I still do. So, yeah, so many rooms, so much furniture. So, outside, so let me show you outside more. As you can see, just more cinematic shots here. Hey Tony, Varun, hey everyone, it's good to see all of you. You see, this is 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And in the master class, we're going through the complete process of remaking this project, except for 3D modeling. I will just be showcasing mistakes. Hey Varun, well, welcome, welcome. That's amazing. Thank you for subscribing. Alright, more rooms. I think now we get to the outside. There is like sun effects and stuff. So all of this is done in Unreal Engine, and yeah, massive learning experience again. I am searching for a shot at the very end of the video that we will also replicate. These trees are just like scaled up. Yeah, so many spotlights. I will show you now the reference pictures. It's real. So yeah, also the environment here, it's taken from GIS data. I forgot the website, but like it's accurate, but not back then. The new one is taken from real world data. This was sculpted from pictures. And finally, this shot. The little tree here. I think this is one of my favorite parts of the project. Without further ado, let me show you here the project now, and let's go to one of the tests I was doing. Now immediately you can see just switching Unreal Engine versions can make your project better. Back then 4.7, 4.8, now 425, 26. That's massive difference right here. Naveed, Umar, welcome back. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Having a good day? What time is it at your zones here? Tell me. Morning, evening. How are you, Naveed? It's good to see you. Xavier, my man, I love your latest project, by the way. Can you send me ArtStation link to your latest project? Wait, from Egypt, Tony, Baron. Okay, cool. Let's keep. Let's take a quick look here. This is another remake I'm working on. Um, I will show you some of the. So the biggest thing about such a project is the light maps. How can we get good lighting, right? Nice, nice. Eduardo, welcome, Ukraine. Xavier, how's your vacation going? Nice. 1 a.m. India. Awesome. Welcome everyone. Like people from around the world. It's incredible. This is one of the remakes, and there is another version. Oh, Alp! Hey! It's good to see you. Hey, Alp. How's the landscape, Alp? I'm looking forward to see it. And your VR game, unfortunately, you sent me APK. I have the BC version, so could we work? Could we port your game to the BC instead of Quest, Alp? Wow, so many amazing people here. You guys make me happy. Let's bring the chat so I don't like do this. Hello, hey, yeah, I'm your student from Belgium. Oh, hey, Joy. It's a pleasure to have. Guys, wow, this is amazing. London. I'd love to come to London someday. The architecture there really amazes me. I have the what was the name? The Barbarian. What you know that building? Brutalist building. It's one of my favorite buildings in London of all time. Let me show you something. All right, this book. Let me do this. This is like, wow. If I wanna go to London, this will be the first thing I ever look at. I think this is a beauty, this building there. So let me put it aside. So guys, I'm also open to questions. If you have any questions on Unreal Engine, anything, I'm here. That's the whole point of tonight's stream. Do some boring work on optimizing meshes and show you how, and answer your questions. Harun, can you take the book, please? Thank you. I'm talking to my cat. Yeah, well, if you visit Turkey again, Xavier, come to Istanbul first. It's better. Yeah, man, making progress. Life is good, Alp. Thank you. Last time I checked your game, it was 2-3 months ago. I'm really excited about what's next. What's next? Larger webcam display. Should like the webcam here on the corner? Should we do this? You mean? Uh, give me a second, then let me fix it. I sometimes forget everything I'm doing. Is this better? What did I do? Okay, guys. There is music in the background. Can you hear music? At least I promised you chilly vibes today. Mahul Kar. Hey, buddy. Alessio. Hello. Greetings. Awesome, guys. Okay, perfect. It's great to have all of you. I'm gonna show you a little, not trick, but some one of the useful things you could do with the bridge assets, the decals. You bring some of them to your architectural projects, and it will add, as you can see, it kind of makes this building here more believable, you know. So Megascan's assets for this are awesome. If you go to Quixel Bridge and search for the decals, you will find so many amazing decals you can use in your projects to make. See, I think one of the main problems with Archviz projects, the not problem, like it's how they are supposed to be presented, but it would be nicer if like adding these elements of imperfection to the projects to bring them more to life, like make it like people really lived there, or this building actually took few years to or whatever to get built, not like instantly. The book title is The Barbarian State Xavier. I will send it to you later on Discord. It's incredibly amazing book for like if you are interested in brutalist architecture and some really nice interior designs. Like to get some reference to and inspiration to add to your projects, just like these decals from how, because all the photographs also in that book are taken the interior photographs from people who already lived there, but like arranged for nice photos. It's an amazing reference. Let me find it. The Barbarian State. Is it the Barbican? This building, such a masterpiece. I don't know. I love this kind of architecture, especially for the sci-fi projects I do from time to time. This is amazing. And the apartments, I sometimes like to take a look at the apartments. Like they are so nice, and the arrangement of the books or like whatever elements. What is this? We can see like this really helps bringing life to project. Not when you set all books like just like you know what I mean. But the books here is a bad example because there are so many other pictures to look at. But the placement basically, I think 50% of the project is just doing this, and the other 50% is just arranging these details. In unit 1 of the master class, like putting these things took me just half the time. Took me a few days to arrange all of these, deleting, redoing, all, you know, like wow. So pictures always help. So music does work sometimes. When you showed it book, it worked. Ah, sorry. Okay, my bad. Let me do this. I just need to copy the music thingy. Copy. And now we should have music. So let me turn off Spotify. There are so many new lessons coming to the master class. Unit 1 videos, we're remaking all of them, not remaking, re-editing all of them, adding, let me show you a quick example of what is coming regarding the live sessions we're doing on the channel and the master class. So here's another example. Slides. I will show you something that relates to preparing your project actually, based on these slides here. So about like wrapping up a project and how to clean it, optimize it, and why start with a template. Let me switch back to my camera. Awesome. there is something I've been preparing the structure not only for the masterclass. This is also mainly for the how we work on projects. Why we should start from a template. Can you guys see this? Perfect. I will provide you later, whether for the masterclass or those who are getting the freebie, this free asset on Gumroad, the link in the description. For the masterclass, by the way, there's 25% off. This stream and this channel is sponsored by the masterclass. And also, if you like to get free stuff, there is this. And what's coming to the masterclass and to this freebie is a new file, my guys. I've been working on how to structure your projects, your Archviz projects from start to finish in real life scenarios. What do I mean? So there is a zip file, you unzip and you get project name, you type your project name here, right? How do we divide our folders? I do it in 3 ways. So I'm gonna talk to you about my workflow and how you could perhaps use some of this to your workflow. So when I get project, whether a personal project, a customer's project, whatever, let's assume it's a customer's project, I start with the name and I have 3 folders here. Folder called sources and another one called production and the final one called final package. The sources folder contains multiple folders too, with structure to them. The way I work with projects, because mainly like our projects are super large projects and they take so much time to finish. So we are used to a project that take even a year, 6 months, more than a year. So the way I organize the projects or files or anything I get from my customer is actually by saving them in the sources, then to the inbox, and it have like this underscore so it can always stay on top, and then year, month, date, and then description of the files. I could show you an example, but like, so you could get up to 50. So this can keep everyone up to date on what came to your studio, to you as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur. Like, this keeps you organized on exactly the changes you're getting or the feedback and all. It all goes here, and then when you start a project, you're cleaning up data or just preparing stuff, you put it in 3D CAD, main reference, whatever. The second folder is the production folder. Usually I work with 3ds Max. This could be Blender or anything you use, but 3ds Max, what's special about this folder here, that it contains the folder structure of 3ds Max that I use and 3ds Max template, right? The whole topic here, why templates are so important. So in the main case, it's a zip template for our projects, for the interior or the Archviz projects, Archviz design. There is similar template, by the way, for the YouTube videos. So try to template everything. The Max file is set up already to Unreal Engine, so 1 unit, 1 centimeter. There are all the layers we use in our projects. So I will show you an example in where is layers? So all these layers that we see here, by the way, if you don't know, window, layers, when you export your project, all the layers you export with your project comes here, right? So I don't do these every single time I start a project. These are pre-set up for me in my template, okay? There are 3D helper objects like mannequins, furniture blocks like sofas, just super basic blocks. And that's where I start with my Max files. So I import my CAD data to Max, work on it here. Once it's finished or nearly finished, I go to Unreal Engine, which is my second project which is my second folder in my project structure, because the pipeline goes like this: 1, get files; 2, clean the files; 3, do the work; 4, and so on, right? Unreal Engine the same, so there are basic materials, master materials, instance, meshes, the library, blueprints, anything you can think of. If I want the blueprints for the Oculus here, I don't do them every time, no, or like migrate from random projects. I have a master project that I have everything inside it, and I migrate or update that project to all other projects, right? When project, if there are anything else, Substance Painter, Mixer, Designer, Marvelous, anything, they go here, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And what is recommended for this, yeah, you give it a name and try to create a template from the new tool you're using in your production workflow. The final package, assuming the project is finished, whether you're exporting for exe, I think I'm the only guy who say exe here, BCVR, images, it's a good thingy to have like PSD templates of your logo, let's say, or whatever, for different platforms. Are you sharing your work on Instagram? Then tailor it for Instagram or Facebook or ArtStation. So these are different ratios we use, and the same for cinematics. So we do cinematics for YouTube, and what will be also nice, for example, cinematics on Instagram stories, tailored cinematic for Instagram stories. This will make you, will make your work stand out when you do stuff like this. And what would save you time when you want to do stuff like this is to have a template. So this should be out next week, my guys. And what is coming in future is the master library. Not to make this short, let me check anything in the chat here, and we will discuss the master library later. Going back to our project, I don't want to get you bored, guys. Thank you guys. Ivan, Chris, hello Chris. Just like Chris said, I'm using 1080 Ti. So again, for those of you who are new here, this is a project I did 5 years ago, and we are remaking the project, everything. And today I thought I would show you some of the things we do in remaking projects. That templates folder, for example, is one of them. And yeah, quick comparison, 5 years ago, almost today. Holy shit. I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna show you the 3ds Max file here I've been working on and how I have been optimizing this. So I will show you one of the examples in the project. Let's close this, and if we go to Unreal Engine, there are mistakes, sorry, but one of the bad things, or not bad things, but one of the things I used to do is having really large surface meshes that look like this. And these meshes, we really need, like, I would divide this in 3 parts. So this is how it looked 5 years ago, and this is how it looks now. So instead of one mesh, we have 1, 2, 3 meshes. Why? Because of the light map resolution. So to get like good lighting here on this mesh, what is the light map resolution here? I think 256. So we need to up this to like 1K or 2K in order to get like artifact free light build on this specific mesh, right? Yes, regarding the template Smoking Panda, my man, welcome by the way. It's going to be on the masterclass for everyone, extended version of it, and the basic version is going to be on this freebie, and the links are in the description. And do you think in the next few years 3ds Max won't be the main modeling program used by architects? It depends on what the architect is trying to achieve. Actually, I know so many architects who are not experienced at all in 3ds Max. They use, like, as you know, Revit or SketchUp or these tools just because their job, for example, is to design ideas or whatnot. But for architects who do 3D visualizing, or what do we call them? The architect whose job is more into visualizing, like production images, 3ds Max is here to stay. And I think the same is true for multiple other tools, since it's an industry standard tool and it's really good, it's really robust. I can't say the same about any other tool because for the last so many years I've been using mainly 3ds Max. But it's becoming so much easier to export your work from Revit or SketchUp or any other tool to Unreal. And one of the workarounds that Epic is working on actually, and I think it's super smart, that they made a bridge between Twinmotion and Unreal Engine. I wanted to try Twinmotion for so long now. I'm sure give it a shot really soon. But for architects, let's say, whose job, like, he wants to get out something fast, really fast, but he don't want to learn something like 3ds Max, right? So you send your project from SketchUp or Revit or any other tool to Twinmotion. In Twinmotion, you do everything. You add the trees, the people, the detail, like the materials, even Quixel assets are available now in Twinmotion. It's really powerful, Twinmotion, super powerful. And then if you want to present your design on Twinmotion, there is something new called like a cloud application, which is like pixel streaming. And if you want to do more than Unreal Engine, you bridge from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. So you as an architect, you don't have to learn 3ds Max to visualize beautiful projects. That's what I believe. But 3ds Max is great to optimize your project. So yeah, you can't learn so many tools at once. Any other questions? Blender. Yeah, I was about to say it, Xavier. But I've been using Blender so much lately for concept art projects. I love it. It's amazing. Hello to everyone new here. Hello to Lee, Enoch. Hope you're doing well today. We have a question. I'm assuming this is live. Yes, MV. This is live, brother. I discovered an incredible workflow going to Twinmotion, and yeah, exactly. From Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. I'm finding this a tremendous help. What are your thoughts on Twinmotion also? Great masterclass. Thank you so much. My thoughts on Twinmotion, that everyone should learn it. It's extremely easy to use. There are so many assets like vegetation and people. People actually, they released a special pack on the marketplace. If you don't know, by the way, it's so good. If you don't know, there are the materials, but this is not new. 500 materials, and there are Twinmotion, people, Unreal Engine. So yeah, I was considering seriously to switch my workflow to this: 3ds Max, Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. I will give it a shot. And the people, I don't know which one exactly. Was it this? This is a free pack, I believe. I'm gonna post a link for you in chat if you're interested in these photo scanned people, but I don't think they move, they're just static. And the Twinmotion people pack, it's really high quality. This one, yes. This is really good, and it's part 1. I'm gonna also send you a link here in the chat, guys. MV, my man, yes. All hail Blender, yeah. Awesome, guys. Chris, I'm looking forward to try Twinmotion. You will be the first guy, I tell you. And if anyone interested in Twinmotion, Chris also is the manager of the unofficial Twinmotion group on Discord, a thriving group. So good evening to you, Tottenham. How are you today? Blender is good. I love Blender. Mahulkar. Did I say that right? Don't get me wrong. I love Blender. The reason I love Blender is because we could enter the full screen mode, you know, and do almost everything totally immersed. Like, that's why I love Blender. I hate when I have to see all of these sometimes. Come on, no, I just want to work like this sometimes. I don't want to see all these. You know what I mean? Blender allows you to do that, and it's so intuitive, so that's good. I didn't use Twinmotion yet, pleasure over matter, but I will be doing that this week, since we just mentioned it, and I'm super pumped about the new bridge tool from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. I hope I didn't miss any questions. If I did not answer your question, by the way, guys, just please, just feel free to write it again, okay? Alright, I will show you some bad 3D modeling stuff I did and how could I improve. So here's one example. The wall here, it's a very large surface. If we take a look at it inside Unreal Engine here, it's going all the way from the beginning of the house here to the end, and it's on two sides, right? So it's not bad, but if you want the best out of your meshes and in terms of like everything, performance, and because again you don't want to raise, see, I always, when I start a project, I start with light map resolution of 16 and then I start increasing based on that. So I don't divide my project into like 200 million meshes, but strategically based on what I need from it, I look here and alright, this face seems very important to me, so I would like very much to just separate it and leave this face alone. But before I separate it, I need to make the light map bake consistent on this mesh. I would take the really parts I care about, which are like the door entrance here. And I think we should be good. Hopefully, if we forgot something, we can bring it. I detach. So now this one very big mesh, it's now two meshes, two smaller meshes. This. And this part here, I think it's from another part. Let me tell you something about the faces of the walls that on the top and below. Mainly in Unreal Engine, your roof, if it covers everything, for example, in this case, if it covers this wall from the top completely all the way, this means that this face we see here is extra, and the same for the face here. I don't recommend deleting these from the very beginning of the project, especially if you are still working on the project, because when you go to the top view in any software, if you delete your faces, it's gonna be harder to select the walls, right? Let me give you an example. Now we can see all the walls from the top clearly, we can select them easily, but if we delete this face here, it's gonna be harder to select our walls because now they will be outlines. So what I recommend at the very end of your project, if you wanna take your optimization process one step more, select all these types of wall meshes and delete everything we don't see and we think you're 100% that is covered by a mesh above it. Get rid of it. Get rid of this, get rid of this, and even get rid of the faces in between the walls, as long as they are covered. Because if there is no mesh above it or something, it's not really properly covered, you will have strange light leaks and stuff going on, and you don't want that. Pleasure over matter. I'm glad you asked. How do you isolate a project? Like so, and isolate. As all of you guys, most of you work with 3D tools, and we all isolate our meshes. I'm gonna make this quick because many of you know. If we right click any mesh in Unreal Engine, there is in the visibility tab here, section, hide selected, show only selected, and this is the one I use. It have a shortcut H that I placed on it, and there is show all actors. So what I do here, show only selected, everything good, then I show all actors. So H to show only selected, Control H to show everything again. You do that from going to edit, editor preferences, and in the search detail, hide all actors, show only selected. You search for anything, any command you like to set a shortcut to, almost any command. You search for it in the editor preferences under the keyboard shortcuts, and you can set a shortcut for it from here. I hope this helps. Any other questions, my guys? I love Unreal Engine. I love Unreal Engine too, Tassin. I even got myself a t-shirt. What do you think on outlet GPU light mask in Unreal Engine? Question by Alessio. I didn't understand outlet. Is your question like what is the difference, or like what are my thoughts on 426, the GPU light mask in that, or can you ask me again? Sorry. Xavier, I will see you soon, my man. Thank you for coming. Personally, not interested in paying the rent for 3ds Max, Rhino, Victor. Yeah, if you wanna use Blender, Blender is a good tool. I didn't use it on like very large projects, but I think it's efficient. It's getting better and better every day. But the problem, the other tools like 3ds Max or Maya, some of these are industry standard, and if you are interested in finding a job in the industry and working in a studio that produce like work for big projects and whatnot, you need to learn the industry standard tools, right? So, but it's becoming easier every day. So there are so many new studios that are using Blender, and you know, so with time everything is uniting. I believe Unreal Engine is uniting everything. That's what one of the main reasons I choose to work with the engine. So if we go back to 3ds Max, I'm not gonna delete the meshes I told you about because I'm still working on my project and I wanna see my meshes from the top, and it becomes even more annoying when you're like in this view and you see this. So keep these but delete them at the end. Muhammad Fadal, hey buddy, thank you for coming. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream and the tips. Awesome, feel free to ask anything. I will share all the tips I have. Okay, so I detached this wall. There are parts of this wall. So if we go back here to Unreal, and the reason I send my projects like this, so you can ignore the furniture. I'm just gonna hide the furniture like so. The reason I send my project in early stages when I'm working on it, by the way, I don't detach all meshes like I'm showing you now during the creation of the project. I also do this as one of the final steps of like finalizing the project. So what I like to do is, let's say this is the project and this here before the detach, this is what it looks like here. So I like to walk around and discover. First, I work floor by floor. So I work first on this complete floor, then move on to any other floor. But I'm showing you here up as an example. So I walk around and I look at this mesh. Okay, because here do we have this? We do. Maybe we cannot see it here. I only saw it when I went to the top. But there is full part of the wall that we don't see we don't see. It's hidden, it's covered by these closets and by this wall, and yeah, and you can see how bad the light here looks. So how could we improve this, right? And we still have super low light map resolution. Well, simply, you know the answer by now. We select the faces we care about. We want that we know they're going to be seen. In this case, let's include this because this part will be seen and it's not much. And we detach this. And we would do the same for this guy, right? And this wall here, it won't be seen at all. We keep it. And later, when we import the project, what I also do, like the norm, where is my content browser? One second, content browser, where do you at? I forgot where is the content browser. There we go. Okay, you know in DataSmith, when you import, it asks you to set the static mesh options to set the min and the max light map resolution, right? I set it to 64 by 64. I didn't know that we could select 6. I thought this is the minimum. So next time I would do 16 to 64, because what I would do next after I import my mesh, I would go toward outliner, select one static mesh. Then if you right click, here's another tip. From select, there is select, no, here, by the way, you can select all the same material. Here's a tip. And you can select all similar actors that are selected to the object now. In this case, it's a static mesh. So here, select all static meshes, and the shortcut for this is Ctrl-Shift-A. So Ctrl-Shift-A. Now Unreal Engine ignored everything and selected only the static mesh. And I just isolate this. Then I go to the light map resolution and set it to 16 or even lower. And then I start working on my project. So when I bake the light, it won't take more than a few seconds. I don't want to wait a minute for the light bake to finish every time. And I look, okay, what could be improved, and I start detaching surfaces as I see fit for my project. That's what I said in the tutorials lighting. Oh, Haroon. That's what I said in the all tutorials on the lighting, that strategically detach your meshes. So you know what are you detaching. Munkhtar Toro, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying the stream. There are so many questions. So wait, there is just so much text, but like I have this large monitor and let me read here. My pleasure, guys. And I don't know how many people are here today. Can I take a look, guys? I just wanna say hi to everyone. Wow! Hi! 40! I thought we were like 10. Hello everyone. Well, everyone is new here. I am just showcasing the difference between old project I did 5 years ago and this project and what could be better. To give you a quick idea, let me just show you the very old project. No, it's this one. This is a project I did in 2015, and we are remaking this project. Not in today's stream. Today's stream is like sneak peek of the masterclass. We are remaking this complete project in the masterclass, except for the 3D modeling of the house because it's already done. And yeah, just sharing some tips today on how can we improve our lighting for our projects, especially if it's a project like this. I had another image open, but basically this project will end up, let me show you, in an environment like this. So this is where it's located in real life. These are very old renders with V-Ray, and you saw how ugly it is 5 years ago in Unreal Engine. Oh boy. And yeah, we are here today. So I have a question. When do the Unwrap 3ds Max or Unreal Engine? That's a great question, Mukhtar. Regarding unwrapping, I don't know if I can find you any mesh here. Before, there we go. In the good old days, on unwrapping for our projects, before we send them to Unreal Engine, we had to do this manually. Alright? So one of the scripts we used to do on surfaces that are walls, floors, ceilings, closets, anything that is considered have a surface that is planar, right? Mainly architectural surfaces. So there's one of the scripts, Steamroller, that does the unwrapping for us automatically, and I used to set it on channel 2, and this is this mesh, for example. And this is how much space it takes in the UV space for the light bake, right? Luckily, thankfully, for these meshes, the architectural meshes, DataMath does the job for us. There is no need to unwrap these types of meshes anymore. For meshes that are, let me show you here, that are furniture, for example, you see how bad this is? Let me show you the lighting only. So this mesh here is also unwrapped by DataMath, and DataMath, like, automatically it takes angle similar to what we have here with the unwrap. When you do mapping, flatten mapping, then you set a threshold for the angle. That's what DataMath does basically. And This unfortunately does not work well for meshes or objects that we can consider have organic shape, let's call it, like furniture, anything that could be cylindrical. I'm not gonna try and say this. Cylindrical, yeah, and whatnot. So, alright, what is the solution for these objects? If you're using the CPU baker in CPU Light Maps, unfortunately you have to unwrap these manually, whether in Max, Blender. One of the very best tools, the only tool I recommend for me, the one like I recommend is Rhizome UV. Rhizome UV, I used to spend 30-40 minutes unwrapping something in 3ds Max, and this I can do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even less, and it's just so much faster. So Rhizome Lab, they have something called UV virtual spaces. It's an amazing tool. I think there is also a trial. I'm gonna post a link for you guys if anyone is interested in unwrapping their furniture. So that's for the CPU light mask. Luckily, the GPU light mask, the way the algorithm works, brute force or something similar to V-Ray, it ignores these seams for some reason. I don't know how it works, but if we raise the quality enough, in most scenarios, we won't see these. We could try a test now, so I don't know. Is it a time for a test? Why not? Let's do a test, guys. So I'm gonna make a new maps. I'm using the GPU Baker, by the way. And I'm gonna bring plane, floor. Let's just search for a floor object. Put it here. Get a quick sun and sky. Select the sun and let's set the intensity to something like, not to something like, but from 75k to 10 looks, and wait for the auto exposure to fix or just add one. What was the post process? Okay, let's turn off auto exposure real quick. And let's make it infinite. Alright, I think we should be good. We should be good. Gonna press Ctrl V. If you remember in that map, I pressed Ctrl C on this mesh. And if you press Ctrl V, you can copy and paste stuff between your project and between Unreal Engine projects. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V, you could actually copy a lighting setup, not a mesh, but more on that later. So here's one mesh with the light map resolution of 64, and let's make one here of 512 and 1024. And let's make the floor bigger. And let's switch from movable to static so it can actually bake the light. While it's baking the light, I'm gonna take a look at the chat here, see if there are any questions. Sorry, drink water. Andre said, hello from Bosnia. Hello, my man. It's good to have you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Andre, my man. See, Sergio, hello. Do you work with the GPU light mask? Yes. For Archviz projects, it's highly recommended that you work with the GPU light mask. In Unreal Engine 425, the Lushuang GPU light mask is highly recommended for like your production projects. And if you're feeling a bit risky, you could work with the 426 GPU light mask. It's also amazing, but it's still in beta. This means that you could expect some stuff. So for production folders, I still use 425, the GPU light mask. So here's the same sofa. This one is set to light map resolution of 64, right? And this is 512. We could see it looks slightly better on the areas where it's slightly lit better, right? On the top here, for example, you can see the 64, it sucks. There is so much light leak and all. This is 512, it looks much better. And this is 1024. It looks even better. So I'm gonna show you. Here I can see the difference clearly. Here, right? Here it's much better. However, here where is like the shadow, or like it's not getting enough shadowing, you can see the what do we call it? The seam, right? So even furniture, like basically, sorry, anything that is not an architectural element, floor, door, window, whatever, you must unwrap it manually in order to get the best result. With the CPU Baker, this won't happen. We would still see all the seams. I'm gonna show you an example of the comparison between the old comparison between the GPU and the CPU on one mesh that like something used to kill me, you know. Lushwang GPU Light Mass. So you could read this. I'm gonna post a link for you, my guys and girls, everyone here. Welcome to all of you. The main difference between the CPU Light Mass and the GPU Light Mass is these seams in the GPU Light Mass, they don't exist. And this is amazing. And here's the CPU Light Mass. I think the meshes here in the CPU Light Mask, they worked on different threads, something like the way they work is different. So the GPU Light Mask of course comes with its downsides. For example, you cannot work with IES lights profiles, you cannot do that, and I forgot what other things. If you want the ultimate control over your lighting, the CPU Light Mask is your friend. It does not mean that you can get bad results with the CPU Light Mask. It's just more advanced, let's say. It needs more practice, let's say, and it takes much longer. So if you're patient, make some coffee, use CPU Light Mask, and I don't know. For games, they still use the CPU Light Mask. Alright, I'm gonna see more questions. Oh my god, guys. 50 people. Wow. If you could hit that like button so this video can reach more people, you would help us tremendously growing and doing this stuff. So while you're at it, hit it. I would appreciate it so much. Let's see what other questions we have. Ray tracing doesn't use light maps. So I think there is a question about ray tracing I missed. Alright. I'm gonna put this here in front of us, guys, so we can read together. How do we answered this? Isolating an object. For anyone who is new here, you can set a shortcut for these in the visibility, show only selected and show all actors. So you can do this, right? Nice, thank you. Yahya brother, great stream. Thank you again, Mahmoud. Hello, cheers from Brazil. Cheers, my man. Everyone in the chat, where are you from? Cheers from your country. Go. Hello, Munkhtar. Awesome. Cool, bro. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the huge tip. Is there a fast way to optimize 3ds Max a whole? And have you tried using runtime virtual textures yet? I did not use... Well, I can't remember. I don't want to say yes and no because I think I should by this time, but I'm confused, to be honest. Virtual texturing, I'm using it with my projects in Unreal Engine 426, but I didn't do any production project yet with 426 for Archviz, so I didn't use the virtual texturing in production yet. And I'm getting some bugs in 426 when I use virtual texturing, so I keep that disabled. I hope did I answer correctly? If you are a 3ds Max user who works with CAD data, everyone, I'm talking to you, one of the best tools I have ever seen in optimizing and helping you optimizing and organizing your projects inside 3ds Max, so this is only for 3ds Max users, sorry everyone else, is Cyanide tools. the cyanide tools are a lifesaver, like massive time saver. There are so much going on here. They have an amazing channel showing everything they do, so I'm gonna link you guys to their channel. Cyanide software, yes. So where is the chat? Check out their channel if you're a 3ds Max user looking to save time optimizing CAD projects, especially big ones. So Cyanide software, I hope this answers your question. Other than plugins, I like the optimization process is just an optimization process, and if there's any tool, plugin, script you could use to help you that, so it depends on what are the most repetitive tasks I do in optimization. I try to find tools that help me do these tasks, or try to learn some scripting. Like I had a dream of learning Python for 10 years now, but usually some friends could help writing scripts and whatnot. So always, if anything you could optimize on your time in doing specific tasks, try to find a tool for it. So I don't know, like a stupid example, but 2 years ago I was working office building. It have like I don't know how many hundreds of windows, and we needed to like open all of them. So I searched, okay, holy shit, how do I do this? I don't want to open them manually. So I went like, hey Google, 3ds Max rotate windows please, you know, and I started searching, and there's in 3ds Max script spot is the main website for the 3ds Max scripts. So that's that. So yeah, optimization, it's a process that is annoying. I also remember there is data prep. If you are not using Unreal 3ds Max, or if you're using 3ds Max, if you're actually using anything, there's something called data prep by Unreal Engine, where you could create nodes here and streamline your importing process. So here's on the left, like when you open assets, you have your assets here. You can like tell it, hey, anything, I don't know like what examples I should showcase now, but you could just streamline. So yeah, set level of detail for all these meshes, delete all objects that have the name something, or the tag, or the metadata, you know, like data prep. If you know how to use it, it will save you so much time. And what data prep need actually, like this kind of stuff, is exactly what I showed you guys earlier. And for all of you who are new here, there is a file coming soon to the Unreal Engine Masterclass we're doing on Gumroad, and the freebie part of it, the freebie, I mean this, let me show you, Gumroad. On our Gumroad there is this freebie. So what I'm gonna talk about now real quick is coming here and to our masterclass, 25% off in the description if you wanna sponsor the stream. Anyway, the file is coming soon, is a template I use to create all my projects, and it have also data prep in mind. This is why all our layers are probably named and whatnot, because you can do almost everything with data prep. So here real quick, it's a zipped folder. You can name it to whatever you want, and it contains folders that are step 1, step 2, step 3. Long story short, step 1, you get the files from your customer or your project or feedback or whatnot. It all goes here in specific system. I spoken about it in detail earlier in the video, in the stream. Step number 2 is the production. Your 3D tool, it comes set up to Unreal Engine with all its layers and whatnot. Step number 2, once you finish 3D modeling and all, you go to Unreal Engine, and in my Unreal Engine I have a template for me that I did for my project that contains basic materials, opaque, cloth, translucent, glass, foliage, basic lighting setups and whatnot. So all of this is coming to Gumroad. Links are below, my guys. And yeah, data prep is a great tool to also optimize your projects and save you tremendous amounts of time. I took so much time on this answer, sorry. Any other questions? There are. When do you work with ray trace in Unreal Engine? The light map when you work with ray tracing in Unreal Engine, the light map's resolution of the surface must be higher to capture all the quality of the light. Do you agree? So when you work with ray tracing, basically there is nothing baked. You're ray tracing the global illumination or the reflections and whatnot. However, in Unreal Engine 426, in order for the GPU light mask to actually work, you need ray tracing because it needs ray tracing to calculate the light mass. So one of the things Epic documentation mentions, obviously when you have static light like this, or static light, sorry, on a static object, or stationary light on static object, in order to get nice shadows on your surface, you need to increase the light map resolution. So I can agree, but for ray tracing you don't need you don't need to play with this, because ray tracing, if you're using ray tracing, you should be using movable lights and you will get dynamic shadows that don't look as ugly as these guys here. Oh my god. Hello from Bosnia, welcome. I said hello earlier, so I want people to, where you guys from? Type it, hello from, or cheers from. I do work with a GPU like mass, answer this. Oh my god, wait 1 second. Okay, I was planning to do a project with movable furniture but using volumetric light map, but the result is not realistic enough, like baked as static. Any tips about this? Mahmoud Fadel. So when you talk about the volumetric light map, it's only made for movable objects, right? So as you mentioned here, the first thing you need to know to learn more about it, I'm gonna just link you to the description. Is the first thing we see here, and the options you need to change with the volumetric light map from the word settings. Let me show you now, but I'm gonna post this in a second. Are when you go to word settings, to the light mask here, the volumetric light map detail cell size and the maximum break memory and the spherical harmonic smoothing, you need to adjust these. What exactly you need? I think the lower the better for this, and I'm not sure about here, but if you hover your mouse you will learn about it. And be careful with this because it could increase the memory usage up to 8 as it says here. So the best thing I would recommend you doing, my man, read this, try again, see how it works, and join us on Discord and show me your progress, and I will do my very best to help. And guys, if you don't know, on Discord now we're almost 700-800 members. We're a small nice community of people like you. So I think the link is also in the description. How about you come, you take a look here, and you also introduce yourself to us. Tell us who you are, what do you do, why you use Unreal Engine, and what you're hoping to achieve. And yeah, it's a very nice little community, so come. Free coffee for everyone. Let's go back to chat. I mean with the light mask. Yes, Javier. Yes, got it. Got you. It's a trade-off between the quality of light and performance of baking. If you set everything to 2K or 4K, that's crazy. Don't set everything to 2K or 4K. Your GPU, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And to avoid setting your meshes to 2K and 4K, this is exactly what we were doing here, my guys. So let's open back our main map. This is not our main map. Projects. Not you. This is a mesh that if I want to get really good light on, as you can see it is slightly large. And what is the best way to get nice baked light on this mesh without sending it to 2K or 4K? Well, the answer is very easy. You can see this mesh here. If we look at the UV, all of this is shared on this here, and the light mask, when it bakes the light, the information of that light is baked on this texture here, on this area. So what do we do? Well, we need to detach these meshes from each other, let DataSmith do generate a new light map for us, like this. So here's how we detach these meshes, right? And instead of one big mesh, now it's 3 meshes, and now I promise you, once I send this back to Unreal Engine and bake the light, it will look so much better than this, without increasing to really high numbers, right? So now it's 256, so we can keep it at like 64 or 128 and we can still get better shadow. And the same on this mesh. This is another very big mesh that goes from the very start of the house to the end of it, and it's like all this face, and what's make it worse, it's also all this face, and you can see how bad this is here, right? So what did we do about this? Well, let me show you what did we do. Now it's separated into 1, right, for this room only, and 2 for wall we will never see. We could put the light map resolution on this guy to 2. I don't know if we could do that. What is the lowest? 4. Yeah. So this wall here, to save on memory, usually all of us by default we leave all the walls to 64. No, you could tell it to 2, right? Save memory, because only by light maps, this project, I'm bashing myself here, but this project, because of the massive site and the light map resolution, is like 13 gigabytes, and you don't want that, right? So divide your meshes strategically based on how you see fit, and then increase slowly. So the way I approach this, sorry for repeating for those of you who were here, but I start my projects with as lowest quality possible, and I start increasing from here. So alright. What is more questions? Muhammad Fadil, make the light source stationary. Yes, that's also right. UV map, we spoke about Rhizome. What about Steamroller as an unwrapping tool? The thing about Steamroller, it does exactly as DataSmith does for us. So now when we import our mesh here, let's say we did not use Steamroller inside 3ds Max, we did not touch our meshes at all actually. What DataSmith will do, if this option is enabled, it will do what Steamroller used to do, which is generating light map UVs on the second UV channel, so the light can be baked on these. And I'm super thankful for DataSmith, because Steamroller, among so many other things we used to do in the good old days, it just used to take so much time. In one, like on big projects, guys, when time adds up, especially when you have a long project like 1 year or something, DataSmith saved us accumulatively, I don't know if this is the right word, but weeks of work. Imagine a tool that saves weeks of work on when you work on so many projects. So thank you Epic and everyone who worked on DataSmith. Oh my god. My very first project, I unwrapped every mesh by hand. I spent like 1 month selecting every static mesh, going to unwrap UVW, then move it, abandon, open UV editor, mapping, flatten mapping. Oh my god, I was so noob. So DataSmith, thank you. Right? If you disable that, if you have, oh, by the way, if you used a tool like Rhizome UV tool or any tool to unwrap your meshes, let's say the furniture, when you import them with DataSmith, you need to uncheck this guy, so it don't override your UVs. Okay? Keep that in mind. Martin, hey, it's good to see you, my man. How are you? Great stream, thank you. Please keep. Thank you. I have a question. Is there any nice way how to bright up dark areas without any spotlights, without hotspots from lights? Well, if you're using this GPU or the CPU baker, one of the things, well, I'm gonna talk about the GPU. Well, technically both. The indirect light bounces when you go to settings, word settings, this will show up. If you go to light mass, and then let's see what's here, you need to increase this. Alright, so this will increase how many times your light is going to bounce off surfaces, and I think the highest value is 10. We used to do it back in the days like 100 or 50, but it does not work more than 10. It's capped at 10. There is no, even if it worked, I'm not 100%, I like read the paper, it does not make that massive difference. So that's how you can increase the brightness a little of the dark areas. So yeah, this is, I think, regarding only the CPU light mass. I can't remember, guys, I need to test, but it has to do with these two guys here, the skylight bounces and the indirect light bounces. I'm gonna test later off the stream, see how this will affect the GPU baker. Thank you for the question, Martin, that's a good one. Just kind of diffuse ambient light, something like area light. Something else you could do, I just remembered when you spoke ambient light, it's not physically correct to do, it's like not the best approach as well, but in the search details here, you can search for something called Diffuse Boost. It's under the lighting tab, so you can increase this a little. And when you bake the light, you can see the diffuse color of this is slightly boosted, it's brighter, the whole mesh. So if you want to just do this part, you could detach it and then do the diffuse boost on this part of the mesh. I hope this answers your question. Please do it, and you are with us on Discord already, so once you do it, tag ya boy, me, and I look forward to see what you will do, buddy. Great questions. Anyone else, if you have any questions, this is the Q&A night. And water. Hello from India, welcome my man. Darshel, welcome. My PC specs 1080 Ti GTX, 64 gigabytes of RAM. I recommend for everyone using Unreal Engine for Archviz to have high amount of RAM, 32, 16, 64, please do. It would just make your life so much easier when you bake light and like working on big projects. You need RAM. Unreal Engine takes so much RAM when you are baking large projects. And VRAM, of course. But I experienced Unreal Engine crashing 3-4 years ago. I had two computers, one with 64 gigabytes of RAM and one with 32 gigabytes of RAM, or 16, I can't remember. I experienced Unreal Engine crashing all the time on a specific project on the PC that had lower RAM. So RAM is important. And I have Ryzen 18X. It's very like 3-4 years old PC, nothing really special. How different ray tracing from GPU light mass? So GPU light mass in Unreal Engine 425, we don't need ray tracing at all. We don't need it in order for the GPU light mass to work. We just replace some engine files, and I already made a tutorial on how to install GPU light mass on our channel. If you go to the channel and in the playlist, there is full series on lighting here. You can like enable, disable, learn stuff. The UE4 tutorial lighting for beginners. My English, bro. In Unreal Engine 426, however, Lu Shuang is the guy who developed the GPU light mass. He started like in Unreal Engine 4 2019 or something. I believe Epic hired the guy, and in Unreal Engine 426 we finally had a look at the official GPU light mass. However, the way they work before and now, like in 425 and 426, it's kind of different. Well, I think it's a lot different, because in 426 you do need to have ray tracing enabled in order for the GPU light mass to work, right? However, when you enable ray tracing on your project, you don't want ray tracing. You can actually, you should disable ray tracing, especially while you are baking the light. So ray tracing only is needed for the GPU light mass in Unreal Engine 426 for it to work. If that's one part. Now, The second part, if you're using only dynamic lighting, uh, the light mass is something we would never use, because the light mass, whether the GPU or the CPU, if you Google it, actually there is so much amazing information about it on the the light mass global illumination. The GI, the secondary, the baked, not the baked, it is baked light, the global illumination. I actually had a great example about it. I stole it from one of the live training sessions on Epic. So basically the GI, here is an image without global illumination, right? And here's an image that we clicked on build light, whether CPU or GPU, it doesn't matter. And you can see the dark areas here, how they take from the light, like how it's illuminated, right? Now, what ray tracing does, if you don't want to bake your lights, you could achieve kind of similar result, not really like the best yet, but in real time with no need to bake anything, whether for the ray traced global illumination and the same for ray traced reflections and whatnot. So we cannot technically we cannot compare ray tracing to the GPU light mass. We can compare ray tracing, for example, or dynamic light to the light mass. What? to the global illumination. But you need ray tracing for the GPU light mass to work. I hope I answered your question. I sometimes have brain freeze when I see so many people are watching. So that's nice, guys. Thank you so much for your support, for your questions. It means a lot. I'm very happy all of you are here tonight. What other questions do we have? I hope this answered your question, by the way, Varon. So if you set the mean resolution to light map resolution, the results are better. If you set the mean resolution equals to light map, I didn't really understand, but the higher light map resolution is, the better the baked light or the baked light texture will look. But just don't go too high. And one more trick, it's not a trick, but if you, I don't know if you can see, but this is a bad example because it's super light bad quality, but there are some artifacts, even if you have like 1024, sorry, even if you have a light map resolution of 1024 or 2K and you still have some artifacts, you could do this, but only for Archviz projects, small ones preferably, and bake the light again. Is going to the light mass and then search for compress light maps. So disabling this will make your project like 4 times, 3 times bigger, right? The compressed light maps. In my case, actually this project, the one we did for the unit 1 of the masterclass, the main reason is like 13 gigabytes. It's because compressed light maps is off for 2 reasons. First, so we can have really nice lighting. Second, the project has too much assets and the light map resolution is way too high. If we activate this, Unreal Engine will crash. So if you are wondering why when you click build the light and you spend 2 hours or 1 hour building the light, and then when at the very point when Unreal Engine finishes building the light and it's like compressing and doing its final thing, it crashes, you need to make sure that this guy is disabled, sorry. However, it's not really recommended disabling this, but this is could be one of the reasons your Unreal Engine is crashing after it builds the light. So thank you for that question, actually, it's a good one. Love your work, bro. Love from Pakistan. Hey, Fahim, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. Love back from Syria, my man. Currently I'm in Istanbul, but love back to all of you, my boys, girls from Syria. Hello from Africa. Hello from South Africa. That's fucking awesome. Hello from Syria, Canada. Where are you guys from? Type India. Nice. This is wow, it's incredible to see people all around the world today to here together, chatting, doing Unreal Engine stuff. Such a community. I am so late in the chat, right? So actually here, Andre, you did a great thing. Anyone who have a question, please just type question and then type your question to me so it can be easier for me to see. Animated objects in light mass. Unfortunately, lights are baked, and movable objects will not bake light, so sorry. Hope with Unreal Engine 5 and nanite technology and all this good stuff we will see massive changes, so let's wait and see. I have a question. Does the GPU light mass only work with ray tracing graphic card? I'm using 1050 Ti. Does it work on it? On 425 you could 100% use your GPU light mass on your 1050 Ti. So you need Unreal Engine 425 and Lushuang GPU light mass. On Unreal Engine 426, I also believe that's possible. So here is the thing, guys. When you enable ray tracing on your project or open a project with ray tracing, and you need to disable ray tracing features before you build the light. And on any device, not any device, but the devices that at least support ray tracing partially, like my 1080 Ti, if you press tilde, then press R, then ray tracing, right? Then force all ray tracing effects, set it to 0 like this, press enter, and it will disable all ray tracing effects. We won't see anything again in the viewport, but the GPU light mass would work. So I'm using 425 now, but you can still use the GPU light mass. So you don't need ray tracing to use the GPU. Well, you do need it, but not like needed to see it exactly in viewport. So you need a ray tracing capable card, but you don't need to see it in your viewport. So tilde again, I'm gonna repeat that r dot ray tracing, and you don't have to type everything. Once this list appears, you can with the arrow keys just move to wherever you want, then put another dot, force. You don't have to type all of this. Scroll, arrow down, and then 0 to disable it or 1 to enable it. I don't have ray tracing enabled, I believe, so that's that. Shout out to David Byles who taught me this just a few weeks ago, because for the past few, I think year or something, I was going every time I go to the post-process volume and I disable the ray tracing features from here, and it doesn't turn off all of them from here natively, and I was like, why? Until David saw me 2 weeks ago and saved my life with this console command. So thank you, David. Colombia, welcome. 3DG, it's a pleasure to have all of you guys. I didn't expect well, I didn't, yeah. Brain freeze, another one. I'm very happy. What do you think about 5D render, if I may ask? I honestly didn't use it yet. I never had the chance to use it. But I think stuff like 5D render, Lumion, Twinmotion is perfect for architects who design stuff and want to bring the idea to life as fast as possible without doing optimization work or stuff. So I think it's a great tool. It have its user base. I saw a video a few weeks ago, like they showed a nice project, but I never tried it. As long as any tool you use just deliver the result you want, then you're good. And for all of you who are new here, if you want to learn a new tool similar to these, I would highly recommend learning Twinmotion, because the Twinmotion recently got a massive update. It now there is a bridge between Twinmotion and Unreal Engine, and basically you can do this. You can take your project from 3ds Max, Reveal, SketchUp, anywhere to Twinmotion. In Twinmotion, do like the stuff architects does. Like there is massive library of assets, materials, and whatnot. Could save you people, trees, vegetation. Put all of that in Twinmotion, and then from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. I think that's a decent workflow. I want to try this. I didn't try it yet, but been thinking about this for a while. And Chris, our Discord community manager, is going to kill me because I've been thinking about this for a few months at least. So yeah, Colombia, London, welcome again, my boys. What is question? Yeah, we are here preparing model for VR Archviz walkthrough. What are the best practices on achieving as many frames per second as possible? That's a good question, but it's a long answer. Not a long answer, it depends on so many things. So your poly count matters in like, especially how large your project is. So your poly count matters, the light map resolution matters. You set it takes so much memory, the higher it is, the longer. Your lights placement matters. So if you have so many shadows, especially dynamic shadows, it's not recommended. If you have so many movable lights, it's not recommended, because in VR you need at least 90 frames per second so you can have like a really smooth experience, right? I remember there is an article from Epic, or I don't know where exactly, but I would type this as a video idea or just something to share with the community later. That's a great question, buddy. There are tools in Unreal Engine for profiling the performance. It's been a while for me since I used anyone, but I recommend for anyone who is interested in improving the performance on their Unreal Engine project is to actually watch our boy TechArt8. He hasn't been active for a long time, but he have such an incredible tutorial series, all of these videos on profiling and measuring performance and like see what's up, why my project is just getting shit frame rate. These tutorials are exactly for that, and the built-in profiler is one of the best tutorials on that, like to get you started. So this one I would recommend it. So I'm gonna send you guys a link here and check out his channel, check out these videos if you're interested in optimizing your project. Hello from Nigeria, Arigizor Raymond. Hello, my man. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I hope you're enjoying the stream as well. So the client can play interior scene, for example. Yeah, absolutely. Optimizing. Check out the videos I sent you, and if you are not with us on Discord already, guys, again, to everyone, we are a nice community of 700 people, all soon to be 800. We're helping each other, tech discussion, Unreal Engine stuff, the good stuff. We're like doing our very best to help each other. So link is also below. Join us on Discord and go to the introduction channel. Tell us about you, who you are, why are you using Unreal Engine, and yeah, share your work with us and all this good stuff. Hello Nadir, welcome Brazil. We say in Arabic Habibi, Brazil. So welcome Nadir. Class 1 UE4 error while extracting. I never got this. Is Google working? Yes. I think we should be live. I don't know for how long we lost the connection, to be honest. I think I was talking to myself for the last 10 minutes. I don't know. Oh my god. Connection is back. Yes! Yes! Nice. William, I don't know if you're still here, but it's great to see you here, buddy. Man, I completely forgot to message you back. Wow. It's so many questions, guys. I'm overwhelmed and I'm super thankful, like grateful for. Wow, it's a great community, you guys. Thank you. So we are 100% back, right? I think my chat is not updating. So let's do this. Awesome. I don't know where I lost track or where were we before we lose the connection, so I'm gonna now try and go through all of these as fast as possible. Again, welcome for everyone. So, if I had a question on Lushuang GPU Lightmask forum about these settings, only 2 lines in Lightmask text file is accountable. Super lal boy. About the word settings here, right? The num indirect and the skylight bounces. I'm currently working on a Canadian lodge, making the model in SketchUp and importing to Unreal Engine for textures and lighting, essentially making my dream house in Unreal Engine to walk around it. That's incredibly amazing, Lord Stephenson. Join us on Discord and please show us your work in progress. We would love to see it. I got a question earlier I was trying to answer, but then I discovered the internet was off. But to get blueprint samples or like basically anything, if you open Epic Games Launcher and go to the Learn tab, there is so much going on here you can download and learn from. So for example, for blueprints in configuring materials and whatnot, the car configurator is a great example, and there are all of these. And the same from the marketplace on the free section. There are incredibly amazing samples you can, not samples, full projects you can download. Check out the I am sure all of you heard of it, but the Australia pack. This one is incredibly amazing, by the way. So GTX 1070, yeah, GTX 1070 should be fine. RAM block it from trees. I honestly didn't understand, bro. Ivan, my man. Simon, hey, what is the best, fastest way to unwrap models from 3ds Max to Unreal Engine, please? Well, Simon, my man, we were talking about this. Unreal DataFMeth does the unwrapping for you. And for all of you who are, I'm looking like this at my router every 2 seconds just to check I'm still online. I have problem with my connection here. I will, to all of you who are still, new here, I will show you a quick example on the light map resolutions and the GPU light mask and unwrapping. The fastest way to unwrap when it comes to architectural projects, and what I mean with that, architectural objects, and what I mean with that are objects that have planar surface area, large, like walls, floors, doors, ceilings, and whatnot. This DataFMeth will take care for it for you. You don't have to unwrap it. And when it comes to stuff like furniture, DataFMeth will also try and take care for it for you. So let's take this piece of furniture for example. I did this example earlier, but let's do it again real quick. So I'm gonna open an empty map here. Let's bring a floor real fast. And let's make it big. Let's press Ctrl V to bring back that sofa. And let's bring a light rig setup real quick. And click on the details. On the skylight, set it to static. Directional light, set it also to static. And let's set the intensity to something smaller like 10. This sofa, I'm gonna make 3 duplicates of it. One is set on the light map resolution of 64, one on the light map res of 512, and one on 1024. And here's a quick tip, my guys. Instead of going like this and now trying to set these on the floor, exactly on the floor like this, and like spend 10 minutes trying to do this, like, you know what I mean? When it comes to all types of furniture, if you actually just click here, open editor surface snapping options, enable the surface snapping, then on what surface we are going to snap, we take it's like normal direction. Imagine the z-axis was going from the axis direction, sorry. So we take the x here. So we select these 3 sofas, and instead of moving them on the z-axis to make them snap to floor, now we can select the x and y that is not the z. So look, it will just snap on the floor for us automatically. Basically it can snap on any surface. So here's on the sofa, right? It's very handy tool, the surface snapping. Alright, let's quick light build real quick, and I will show you the quick difference between these three meshes that are automatically unwrapped using DataFmath. DataFmath automatically unwrapped these three sofas for us. The best plugin I ever saw to unwrap these, so we can have the best light setup, like the best unwrapping tool I have ever saw, it's Ryzen UV, which is this one. I highly recommend this, whether you're 3ds Max user, Blender, anything. The best unwrapping tool, in my opinion. So this is the sofa, light map resolution 64, and this is the exact same sofa, but light map resolution 512, and you can see some of the seams, definitely not like 64. We can also see here mainly, and this is 1024 that you can see. I don't know if you can see, guys, but look at the seam here. We cannot see it on the 1024. We can barely see it here actually, where we have shadowing and all, and basically that. So 64, 1024, GPU light mass. So long story short, what do you mean with this, Yahya? Well, Habibi, if you are using Unreal Engine mainly for Archviz, alright, to visualize architecture, I really highly recommend using the GPU light mass. It just saves you so much time. So for example, if this is a really fast project and I don't have time to unwrap everything and I want to cheat a little, GPU light mass. Sometimes these are fine, but unwrapping, nothing is better than unwrapping. The only thing you need to keep in mind when you are importing the assets with DataFmath that you unwrapped, just make sure with the DataFmath importer dialog that generate light map UVs, turn this off so it don't override your UVs. Alright? I hope this answers your question, Simon. Okay, questions? I like chat, guys. Like for one man. I'm gonna put this on the side. Like, okay. Can you like for one man show like me? Is it worth to learn Unreal Engine? I want to go all out, but is it too much to work for model 3ds Max and export to Unreal Engine, etc, etc. Glenn, I agree with you. Unreal Engine have like learning steep. It's not a tool that you can master in few hours, few days, and you need to put the time for it. This asks the question, what are you using Unreal Engine for? If you're using Unreal Engine only to create renders, for example, static renders, then I don't think there is a need, perhaps. But if you're using Unreal Engine to create interactive visualization or digital twin or virtual reality experience or something that is more than just a render or a video, then Unreal Engine is the way to go. The good thing about Unreal Engine, it's not only that. So, like, it's not as easy like going to file and then package to any system, but when you create anything inside Unreal Engine, you can use it almost in infinite ways and deploy it almost on any device with at least like pixel streaming. There are projects we get like in the past 5 years when I'm doing my Archviz business that I did not use Unreal Engine for because perhaps they just want renders, right? So it depends on what you want to use the tool for. Unreal Engine, the benefits of it, or like, I think in my opinion it's unlimited. It is the tool of future. If you want high paying job, if you want like exciting projects, or if you want to cross over with other industries, for example, yes, my background is in Archviz, and I have like some background in movies. I had. Now I'm working with people in movies. I'm helping them making environments and stuff. So like, yeah, for me at least this is so fun, right? I hope this answers your question. But Unreal Engine is much more than an architectural visualization tool. It's one of many things we can do with it. So it's definitely worth investing time in it. More questions? I hope this answers your question, Glenn, or convince you. If not, then I need to practice better. Mahmoud Fadel, can you check my design on Discord? I will. Tag me, and I will. Yes. Hello from Europa. Glenn, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Hello. Bosnia, Zaltan. Hola desde Chile. I have a project in Chile, the Open Chile Mine. Welcome, Javier. Mongolia, Qatar, Ukraine. Amazing. William, my man. I saw this earlier. I'm sorry. I lost my connection. It's an honor to have you here, William. Holy shit. Thank you. Wow. Quick question. Where can I get blueprint samples or any sample size? I believe I answered this. And I lost my connection when I was answering this from the Learn tab and the Marketplace. And you can also search for blueprints and stuff. I think the prices on the Marketplace for the paid items are fair, and there are so many amazing things on it. Fahim Fayaz, I'm working right now on making VR Archviz for a client while watching you. That's the spirit. Yes! That's the spirit. Andy, welcome. Yes, Adam, we will keep the stream on. I never remove the streams unless I do very bad stuff. So far so good. So Martin, any tips for nice reflections, glass tables, super cool glass shader material? Well, when we okay, another one for window glass solid closets. I think this is the same question here, right? Oh no, this is I skipped. Sorry guys, I'm brain freeze. Martin, another question. You can ask as many as you want, all of you guys, especially you, Martin. For window glass, solid closed mesh like 10mm for example, or single face mesh without thickness. Thanks. That's a great question. Let me show you the project and show you a real example of how I do my stuff, or how I used to do. So for meshes like this, these windows that we can see from both sides, this side and this side, for now I have like very translucent material. There are technically no glass. I just keep two sides. So let me open Max and show you. So let's say we have a glass like this, right? And it's surrounded with a frame. For me, for optimization, I just delete these guys for two reasons. Extra faces, and I think they would look like something like this if I kept them. Do I have any of them? Sometimes if you keep these faces on a glass material, you would have very strange overlapping. Okay? So delete these. When it comes to meshes, like this glass object, I believe I have two material IDs for this. I give one glass material ID for this face, and for the thickness, I give another material ID, which is not this one, but I make like similar glass material but slightly greener, you know, so it can give like this effect of thickness. That's the cheapest way to fake it, and I promise to make a tutorial on this. It will go here. So a decent glass is one of the tricky things actually to achieve in real time, and the refractions, but it's getting better every day and day. The easiest thing to, like, the easiest answer to do it, ray tracing. But we will try and do something without ray tracing, Martin. And where is the chat? Yes. I hope this answers your question, Martin. Ibrahim Aludi. Aludli. Welcome, Ibrahim. Is there a way could make landscape height map not be a square? I could make visibility layers and remove handily what I don't want, but is there a way to make it automatic with the edge of height maps? I didn't 100% understand your question, Ibrahim, but we're talking about landscape, right? I'm gonna give you an example here about the landscape. There are two things, like not the best example, but as far as I know, when we create a landscape when we create a landscape and shift F2 to switch to the landscape mode, you could select and delete some of these blocks or add yours. So I don't know if this is possible in 425. Place actors. In 425 I don't know how exactly to do it, but in 426 there are more tools somewhere that help us manage the landscape. So that's up. What are you doing here? So in manage, usually this one is up and I don't know how to move it up. Click here, then you see the bar, then move it up. Nice. So you could delete, right? You could add on the grid, so they you cannot add here, they must follow each other, and you could move, resize and whatnot. I can't remember how exactly, but in the landscape material you could also make a landscape visibility material. So in my case here, 5 years ago, I painted a landscape on this part, or a material on this part, to make the landscape invisible. Let me show you the very old project. So basically here, and instead of taking the landscape and make it really steep, you know, because I don't have a very thick wall, I just painted the material that makes it invisible, basically. So that's, I hope I understood your question. Sorry if I didn't. But I remember something. The best landscape materials ever. And the legend is back. He just shared few tutorials yesterday or 2 days ago. Unreal Sensei. This guy, I think he makes the best landscapes tutorial. And he also have a free landscape you can download from his Gumroad. So I'm gonna link you guys just here. Unreal Sensei. Search for him. Tell him hi from VR Division Boys. And check him out. He makes amazing Unreal Engine tutorials. Can I join the dev team, my Habibi? Hell yeah, you can, Habibi. Oh, Logan. Hey, it's good to see you. It's very good to see you, Logan. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Or are you? Tell me, are you enjoying the stream? Thank you so much for all the answers. Thank you, Andre. Welcome to Discord. Once you do, tag me. And yeah, Discord, guys, I'm gonna repeat it for every time. We're almost 700 members. We are 700 members. Little nice, amazing community. Link is below. Join us. Introduce yourself. You know, you see so many amazing people here. Share your work, share your questions. So Discord is the place where we hang out. I just looking at my connection again. Any tips for nice reflections? Glass table, super cool glass shader material. The quickest, smallest tip I can give is when you have global sphere reflection capture. So I'm gonna assume you're not using ray tracing, because if you're ray tracing, the amazing refractions, they just work. But for screen space reflections, you need to somehow define your reflections. And what do I do with that? Well, when you go to visual effects from place actor, then place your global sphere reflection or box reflection on all your scene. If you want to have better reflections, let's say on this table, you would drag another reflection capture, and you would set the influence radius to something that is way much smaller than the global reflection capture you placed, because I believe Unreal works like this. First it calculates the biggest reflection capture, then the smallest, the smaller, the smaller, the smaller, and so on. So for example, this one is calculated by the global. So once we set this to something like 150, let's say, place it somewhere 250, I don't know, and let's try building our reflections. Well, nothing changed because the material sucks, but in other scenarios you would have better reflections. Take my word for it. So what you need to do, you have multiple sphere reflection captures, one global and then smaller ones that are around your scene on areas. Oh, I have this enabled. On areas where you want them to be. Okay, so you can see the floor now, it's reflecting like its area here. So that's that, and don't do too much of these, because if you add way too many sphere reflection or box reflection captures, it will just crash your computer at some point. Be really careful, like not really careful, you can add as it depends on the scale of your project too, so that's that. Just like use it with, I don't know, I lost the word, but تحفظ. I know the word in Arabic, but yeah. Next question, and Martin, I will be covering a lot about reflections, ray tracing, and materials in the master class, so you're already part of it. Unit 2 is all about that. You can see this house is full of reflections, so keep an eye on that. Moza, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And I'm great, thank you. I hope you're doing well too. Where sometimes this happens. Girish, thanks for your help, man. Love from India. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Question: are the light mask settings, especially indirect lighting bounces, still relevant when using the GPU light mask? That's a great question. I think there is either this guy or this guy is relevant. So in the GPU light mask, guys, when you use the GPU light mask, none of these settings are relevant except for the volumetric light maps here. Actually, wait. In 426, I don't even think these are working now in the GPU light mask. So I think whether the num indirect lighting bounces or the skylight bounces. One of the best guys, he was here or he's still here, your boy William Faucher. He made an amazing lighting about amazing tutorial about lighting, a stream, 2 hours, amazing stream, so much stuff in it. So let me show you here. And he made a part that is 20 minutes long, and one of the top or pinned comments addressed exactly this. So it's the other tutorial. So check out William Faucher, my guys. He's amazing guy. He's incredible talent. Like, check out what he does. Look at this. Hello. I'm gonna link this to you. I love William, guys. He's a great guy. And the tutorial on lighting, yes, by Thomas. This guy is incredibly talented in the Archviz community. If you search for him on ArtStation, it will just motivate you to create something. Let me show you what I mean. We will do a quick comparison. Okay. Look here. Okay, not bad. And look, Thomas. And his work is incredible. I'm gonna scroll now. All of this in Unreal Engine and Blender. Everything you see here. So when this guy says something about lighting, you gotta trust him. Unlimited. Check out Thomas, check out his work. Incredibly talented artist in the Archviz industry, in the Archviz community. So to answer that question, I think it was the num indirect light bounces. So this guy, and the max for this guy is 10. And later for me, I need to check if this is working or not, but I believe the only relevant option that's working with the GPU light mass is the number indirect lighting bounces. The higher this value is, the slightly brighter the indirect areas will look, because our light is like just going all over the place. So I hope this answers your question, my man. Is DataThMath available for Blender? Yes, if you Google it, you can find it for Blender on GitHub, I believe. And I tried it. I had some problems, so I hope Epic at some point implement DataThMath for Blender. If they do, it's gonna be a game changer. Raymond, did you have any problems with DataThMath? For me, it never worked, unfortunately. Willio, VFX, my man, welcome to the stream. Williams, thank you for answering these questions, my man. GPU light mass for the win. Do you have a full tutorial on using Unreal Engine for Archviz? Yes. Yes. We have full class. If you go to our channel, go to the playlist. There is 17 videos here, from start to finish, on how to use Unreal Engine and make a lovely project in Unreal Engine. Not from start to finish, but like, you know, to make it as fast as possible as well. It was my very first class. We make this apartment in it. Okay, and the apartment model without the furniture is on our Gumroad. The link is in the description. So if you want to follow along the tutorials on YouTube we have here, you can go to Gumroad and download this apartment for free, and there are new updates coming for this soon. And if you want something that's even better, check out our masterclass. My goal here on this guy is still in early access, early bird, is basically to create one course that is to be considered the best place to learn Archviz for Unreal Engine and with the industry tools, mainly now 3ds Max. So in my head, I want, it's my dream actually, to make the best course #1 worldwide for Archviz in Unreal Engine. So if you want to support this dreams, check out the course. And there is actually 25% discount off until 4-5 days from now. So check out 30 April. It's everything in the description. So thank you for asking. And also check out YouTube. This is a very good class. More questions, let's go. My man. Smoking Banda, that's exactly what I'm doing these days. Also the workflow is a bit complicated, especially when the models you receive aren't, yeah. Exactly. Everyone loves Fortune. It's a pleasure to have you, man. It's a pleasure to have you. And what is your opinion on runtime? I think this question goes for Fortune or me. Because for me, for now, my opinion on visual texturing, for me, I'm having some issues with it. But I still didn't take a good enough look at it. But I actually remember an experience with the visual texturing. I was doing a test on this project and I assigned an 8K texture and it destroyed my frames per second. And when I enabled ray tracing, the texture looked amazing and my frames per second increased like hell. So that's that. Other than this, there are some bugs with 426 GPU light mass, but they will be scratched sooner or later. I don't know why there are message restricted, guys. I'm sure all of you are nice. Question. I have been using GPU light mask and the results are amazing. Only problem is my shadows are very sharp and never often soft with distance. Is that to be expected? That's actually a great question, and it begged the question for me. There is something called you could play with the soft source soft angle, I think. The source angle, play with this, see what it will, but no, not this. What was it? There was an option that has to do with like use soft shadows. Honestly, I can't remember, but there is something on like getting softer shadows. There is an option for that, and you could play with the source radius angle and soft angle, see if could that do any change. Honestly, I can't tell you if it will do anything because I never tried to achieve soft shadows because I just didn't. But now I'm curious, so I'm gonna put soft shadows. That's a great question, by the way, thank you. Like, there is a render, I don't know if I can find it. Actually, here. I don't know if you can see it, but depending on what light you're using. In this scene, I was using a mix. I was only using an HDRI, actually, I believe. And look at the shadowing on this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's soft. So I think playing with the angle of the light and making it like the source of the light bigger, well, definitely when you make the source of your directional light bigger, it will make a difference. But I don't have time to try that now because baking light might take time. However, it's on the list, and if you try it, you are with us on Discord, so please let me know how it goes. Question. When I import some assets with DataTmeth and then I modified it in a project like add new material, etc., how can I move that asset to another project with the changes applied? That's a great question, Raymond. Is there any way for that, or do I have to redo it again in a new project? So when migrating assets between projects, one of the very first things we learned about assets in general, that let's say this asset here, when you import it or a table, right? Are we talking only architectural elements? Assets. If you want the change you do on this mesh here in this project to carry on to the other project that you export to, you need to enter the static mesh itself and do your changes here, right? Because when you do the changes here, let's say let's just change the material. Let's say this is the change we did, right? When we send this back to Unreal Engine, like we migrate it to another project, because when we do right click here, there is no migrate option here. When we press Ctrl B to migrate this asset to another project, we are migrating the source asset, right? And it will ignore this material and take these materials. That's the problem. Now, let's assume, shit, you have a very big project and you don't want to do all that all over again. What could you do? This is why I actually like keep my projects even in the levels like organized. On like I have, when I make my projects, I have the main level and then I have sub levels depending on what I'm working on. You could to export this with the material you want, then you need to export the level. If you just asset auction migrate the level, it will take all the materials you assigned on any mesh, right? So yeah, I hope this answers your question on migrating changes between projects. So to migrate to make sure your changes are migrated between projects, migrate the map. If you want just one asset, make sure you change it in the source here. And to find it in the content browser real quick, just the shortcut for this is Ctrl B, by the way. It will locate the asset in the content browser for you, so you can easily do whatever you want for it. 50 people, yeah. I'm like, I got so many brain freeze, guys. this first time ever. Did I answer? Ah, okay. I hope I answered your question, Hunter. Raymond, I hope I answered your question too. Is there any way? Yeah, I did. Let me know if there is anything else. Anted, where can we find high quality trees and bushes for Unreal Engine Archviz? That's a great question. I was on a call today with a friend of mine, and he was asking me about what do you think the marketplace needs. He's like, my friend is working on making content for the marketplace, and my first answer was actually vegetation in general. There's a workflow I'm very interested in, is the Twinmotion Unreal Engine bridge. Like in Twinmotion there are so many trees and all, and now we can send all of that, I think, to Unreal Engine, so I need to try that. If it works, wow. If it not, shit. We have the marketplace. On the marketplace, I don't have anything I can recommend in particular, because there are hundreds and hundreds of assets, but there is a massive library of like assets in general you could use, and for Archviz, just make sure when you are searching for anything, just try to type Archviz next to it, and it will be Archviz, like very high quality assets. There is an asset I use. Let's see if I can find it. But I still think no matter how many assets there are, we still need more vegetation and accessories in general. Archviz. I have an asset I like. I use it most of the time, but honestly I can't remember the name. It have like nice, cute, lovely vegetation I can use in my project. But the marketplace is good for that. ANTDD. 50 people. Martin, my man. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm sure you've gone by so long, but thank you so much for coming and sharing your question. Thousand Hunter, thank you. Musa, would you please? Okay. We will do live in Arabic. You get it, but here, if you can write in English, that would be really appreciated. But you get it. Arabic streams coming soon, Habibi. Looks good. Is it realistic to turn realistic Archviz map into a game map with DLSS possibly? I mean, you could. Technically, it is a game. Or like, you mean like FPS game or something? I think game maps should be designed specifically for game maps. But to get more frames per second, DLSS is the way to go. We're almost done with the questions. Hello, Joz. Guess it's something called like shadow cascades. No, it's not that, regarding the softening on the light. But that's also very close. Raymond, it's a pleasure, my man. I didn't know that I need. Yeah, you need to change the source. I hope it's not very tedious for you. Jose, I don't know, sorry. Hello, it's a pleasure to have you. Yeah, we answered all questions, guys. Holy shit. Wow. I feel tired. I should go sleep soon. So, I don't know why not during answering questions, if I just made myself large like this. It could be so much better, right? I'm stupid. I should do this next time. Guys, do you have any questions? Anything? I will check your design, Mahmoud. Amr, hi, I enrolled recently in the masterclass. Do you think it will be beneficial for me, as most of my artwork are exterior renders? The masterclass is covering both interior projects and exterior projects with large scale environments. So I believe, yes, it will be beneficial for you. Mahmoud Fadel. Okay, let's check your work. You get it. Finished work. There we go. Your name is Malasadi, right? Let's share the screen as well. Yeah, that's how we share a screen. I forgot. 2012. You're a veteran. Nice. I like this one more. I love this type of lighting. Good job, buddy. It reminds me of my home in Aleppo and stuff like that. it definitely have the vibes. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Good job, Mahmoud. Let me put my big face on. Alright, guys. I know I didn't share much from this project today, but your answers actually were like much more useful than whatever your questions, sorry, were so good. More useful than whatever I had in mind. I'm kidding. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out today with me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will do my best to do more of these in 2 languages, and keep an eye on the channel and the masterclass. There is so much going on, and we will be uploading so much very soon, really. I shared on Discord like 170 gigabytes of footage. We're editing the hell out of it, so keep an eye. Other than that, guys, I will see you soon. I wish you great night, great evening, happy Ramadan and all, and thank you for coming. One final question for you, Amir. Okay, how would you think Unreal is compared to Lumion for exterior large-scale renders? Like, from your point of view, what are the advantages and disadvantages of utilizing Unreal Engine in large-scale project? I would leave the long answer for another stream, but that's a great question, Amir. I took a screenshot of this now. I can tell you this. Anything we do in Unreal Engine, you can experience it, you can interact with it, you can make people interact with it, and you can deploy it everywhere. You're not limited for a video or picture. Thank you for the question, and thank you guys so much. Have a great evening, and I will see you very soon. Cheers! Now this is the awkward moment. I click on stop